Bonsoir merci. Thank you for tuning in to WDBG TV, Metro Windsor, Detroit.
Good morning, Metro Windsor, Detroit, North America, and the world. Hi, it's Vinny D, doing this intro live as Charlie LaDuff asked me to do, and I'm introing this here from Point Zero in Canada. Yup, fam, right from the eternal flame on Canada's Parliament Hill, to tell y'all what this here videocast my wife Amy did is all about. It's to inform and educate y'all on what really actually just happened here in Canada, and how Canada just became one big, huge threat to America and the free world. I'm here to introduce a verbal and the real verbatim powerhouse VNA, WDBG CEO and directress, and on the real tip, my wife Amy Suzanne, who's about to drop a truth bomb that'll shake you to your core. She's doing it in her real and raw ad-lib based upon her thoughts about what just happened in this lil video cast. Her and I put together, and let me tell you, it's got the raw, hard-hitting spirit of Lou Gordon himself, mixed with a little French flair from her, as well as my mama's side. No shit, I'm telling y'all, Amy's the real deal. A voice you can trust to cut through the noise with clarity and guts. A female modern-day clone of the late, great Lou Gordon. And even though I hate to admit it, Amy's off better than myself. Another case example of the student surpassing the teacher. She's got the heart to honor our ancestors' fight and the smarts, as well as the learned and acquired Detroit straight-up old-school reporter and commentator style to call out bullshit like LaDuff does and Lou used to do, when, where, and as she sees it. You're going to be on the edge of your seat and want to hear every word she says. Yup, fam, buckle up now, 'cause my Amy, she's about to lay down. And it's a wake-up call about the disaster brewing up in Canada and how that's actually a real and imminent threat to America and the free world in a way most in the media have missed. We're talking Trudeau, Mark Carney, and their liberal crew pushing a World Economic Forum agenda that's like a ghost of history's darkest days. Think Nazi playbook, but slicker, with tech and cash Hitler could only dream of. And listen up, because most media has been dead wrong about why conservative Pierre Poilievre lost his bid for prime minister, spinning tales that missed the mark. Amy's nailed it way better, and she's got the real truth. It wasn't just only all about Trump and his tariffs, but more about how Carney and his crew pulled the exact same, or damn near identical, maneuver Macron used in France to cling to power. You have to hear her break down how they rigged the game to keep their grip tight. And listen up. It's a call to honor the sacrifices of those who came before us and to slam this dystopian nonsense to the ground. You're in for a ride that's equal parts Lou Gordon's hard-hitting truth and a cheer for liberty that'll make you want to shout. So now let's do this, mes amis. Here's Amy.
Live from the far reaches of the North American realm, WDBG presents our new morning show, North America's Rising, hosted by someone many consider to be North America's sexiest, most voluptuous, amazing, and most esteemed, outrageously satirical, as well as one of, if not the most vocal female broadcast commentators ever to grace the North American airwaves, our WDBG and VNA directress and member of the Independent Press Gallery of Canada. The one and only Amy Suzanne. You and the world been waiting for and really needs to hear. Wake up, North America. Here's the radiantly gorgeous, as well as quite in the vernacular, vocal and intelligent, awesome, raw Amy Suzanne.
It's already 9 a.m., so time to wake the fuck up, because North America's rising. And right now, right damn now, it's time to get your ass, ears and mind on this here little ride with me, Amy Suzanne. So let's go, and let's roll, people.
I'm not one of those cushy studio types, plopped on a velvet chair, strutting like a peacock, hollering, "Hey, look at me."
Good morning, Metro Windsor, Detroit, and the rest of North America and the world. Thanks for tuning in to North America's Rising this morning. It's your girl, Amy Suzanne. Once again, bringing the truth to y'all in the raw and the real in an original Detroit style like Lou and Jackie did at WKBD Detroit back in the day, with a bit of Detroit's original French language and touch of my own wit, flair, and savoir-faire tossed in the mix. And today's show gonna be all about Canada, that place just next door Americans oft ignore, and what just happened there on America's doorstep. Yup, this here show's gonna mostly be all about Mark Carney, Trudeau #2, and his voter donor base. Are they really liberals, Canadian patriots, or just plain and simple idiots, morons, and dumb brainwashed, mentally challenged dumbasses with a self-destructive quasi-religious hive mentality and amounting to nothing more than a new breed of North American Nazis? Y'all need to wake up, 'cause Mark Carney and his libtard party didn't just win an election. They pulled a con so filthy it'd make a rat gag. This ain't politics. It's a betrayal of your freedom, your wallet, your country. Even you liberal folks out there, yeah, you, got played, and I'm gonna show you how so you're mad as hell. This is truth time, so listen up. Carney, this slick ex-banker with his Davos smirk, ain't your savior. He's a World Economic Forum puppet, pulling the same slimy tricks Emmanuel Macron used to screw France. These globalist snakes ran the same playbook, manipulating voters like pawns. You didn't vote for Carney. You got duped by a heist, and I'm ripping the mask off. Here's the core of their scam. They cleared the field. Carney's libtards didn't want a fair fight, so they made sure the ballot was a one-horse race. They leaned on the NDP, Greens, even fringe parties whispering, "Don't run, don't split the vote, or the bad guys win." Sounds noble, right? Wrong. It's coercion, manipulation dégueulasse, disgusting manipulation, hey? They scared smaller parties into dropping out or forming coalitions that handed Carney the keys. In key ridings, NDP and Green candidates vanished, leaving you with no choice but Carney's smug face. Macron did the same in France, bullying socialists and Greens to bow out so he could face Le Pen alone. It ain't unity. It's rigging the game, stealing your vote. How'd they pull it off? Sleaze, pure and simple. Carney's crew, like Macron's, mixed promises with threats. They dangled cabinet seats, maybe some juicy contracts, to sweet-talk smaller parties. Didn't work? They turned up the heat, using their media lapdogs, CBC, CTV, to shame anyone who dared run. "You're splitting the vote," they screamed. "You're helping Trump." It's a guilt trip to make candidates fold. And fold they did, leaving you with a ballot that's more ultimatum than choice. It's not democracy. It's a fixed casino, and Carney's the house. Why's this evil? 'Cause democracy thrives on options, on ideas battling it out. When you strong-arm parties into quitting, you're not winning. You're cheating. It's legal, sure. No laws broken, but it's ethically bankrupt, mauvais comme l'enfer, evil as hell. Carney didn't trust you to pick him fair, so he and his WEF buddies made sure you had no one else. It's a middle finger to every Canadian who thinks their vote counts. You got played, Canada, and it's just the start. Stick with me, 'cause this scam gets uglier. Now let's dig deeper into this cesspool, 'cause Carney's con ain't just about rigging elections, it's about tactics so vile they echo history's worst tyrants. Yeah, I'm going there, Canada, 'cause you need to see the playbook. Carney and Macron didn't just clear the field, they channeled fascist vibes straight out of Hitler's early moves. I ain't saying Carney's building camps, don't be dense, but his tricks got that same chilling DNA. Hitler bullied smaller parties into dissolving or merging with his Nazis, creating a fake unity where only he mattered. Carney's softer version, pressuring NDP and Greens to step aside, does the same damn thing. Rigs the system so his libtards are the only voice. Macron pulled this in France, forcing lefty parties to kneel so he could strut unopposed. It's not competition, it's control, control total, and it's scary as hell. The media's in on it too. Carney's got Canada's press, CBC, CTV, the works, eaten out of his hand, just like Macron had France's. They buried his WEF ties, his Goldman Sachs past, and churned out puff pieces about his genius. Pierre Poilievre's plans, lower taxes, energy independence, smeared or ignored. It's propaganda pure, making you think there's no alternative. Hitler used newspapers to drown out dissent. Carney's got HD cameras and X accounts. Same game, new toys. And the WEF? They're the puppet masters. Carney's been cozy with Klaus Schwab's crew forever, pushing their Great Reset nonsense, digital IDs, carbon taxes, surveillance states. The libtard platform's a WEF wish list. Green policies that kill jobs, trade deals that gut sovereignty, programs that keep you dependent. They want you tracked, taxed, and too broke to fight back. That's why Carney leaned so hard on anti-Trump hysteria. It's a distraction, keeping you from noticing he's selling Canada to elites who don't give a damn about you. This gets personal, Canada. Carney knew his win would fracture your country, pit urban against rural, erode trust, and leave you poorer. He don't care. He's rich, connected, untouchable. Like Macron, he'll hide behind photo ops while you eat the consequences. The libtards ain't your liberal party anymore. They're a WEF front, a machine built on division and power, pouvoir absolu. Even you liberal voters, you didn't sign up for this. You wanted hope, not a globalist sellout. Hang tight, 'cause next I'm laying out the carnage Carney's planning. Let's talk about the wreckage Carney's gonna unleash with his Liberal Party of Canada, WEF machine, 'cause you got conned, Canada, not 'cause you're dumb, but 'cause his scam was slick enough to blind you. Now you're gonna pay, and even you liberal folks need to get angry, 'cause this ain't what you voted for. Carney's minority government is a house of cards, propped up by the NDP and green cowards he bullied into submission. That weakness makes him dangerous. To keep power, he'll swing hard, pushing policies that'll gut Canada's heart. Taxes, carbon taxes will jack up your gas, heat, groceries, everything. Wealth taxes will hit anyone with a savings account, all to fund WEF climate schemes that enrich Carney's banker buddies. Alberta's oil patch, he'll strangle it, leaving thousands jobless while preaching green jobs that don't exist. Small businesses, crushed under regulations favoring Amazon and Walmart. Housing, forget it. Carney's policies will keep prices sky high while he funnels billions to connected developers. Rural Canada's gonna take it hard. Carney's urban elitism, straight out of Toronto's wine bars, means he'll spit on Saskatchewan farmers and Manitoba workers, pitting city against country, calling rural folks backwards, while pandering to Montreal's woke crowd. It's divide and conquer, same as Macron's game in France, where farmers are broke and riots burn the streets. Carney's copying that chaos total, and you're the collateral damage. Freedom's next. Carney's WEF playbook calls for digital IDs, tracking your every move. Disagree with him? Censorship's coming, with ex-posts throttled and misinformation laws to silence you? Protests? He'll crack down, calling you a threat to democracy. France's Paris is a police state under Macron. Carney's got the same itch, and his shaky mandate means he'll swing harder to control you. The middle class? Screwed. His trade deals will ship jobs to China, his immigration policies will strain hospitals and schools, and his prosperity talk is hot air. While you're scraping by, his Davos pals feast. This is what a WEF stooge does, turns Canada into their lab rat de laboratoire. Even liberal voters, you wanted jobs, homes, hope, not a dystopia. The libtards are a WEF front, not Pearson's party, thriving on division. The media's their enabler, burying Carney's WEF ties and Poilievre's plans while selling his vision. It's a protection racket for a con man, and you bought it because they never let up. Stick with me, because I'm tying this betrayal together and telling you how to fight back. Seki. Now let's wrap this up, Canada, because Carney's woke liberal WEF con is a knife in your back, and you gotta know how deep it cuts. His game, clear in the field, bullying NDP and Greens to quit, was ripped from Macron's France, where smaller parties were forced to kneel. It's got fascist echoes, like Hitler's early power grabs, silencing rivals for control. Carney's softer but no less dirty, using fear of Trump and media guilt trips to rig the ballot. It's cheating, treachery pure, stripping you of choice. Legal? Sure. Moral? Hell no. It's a betrayal of every Canadian who believes in democracy. WEF's the real villain, Carney's their guy, pushing digital IDs, job-killing taxes, trade deals, gutting sovereignty. His liberals ain't liberal. They're a globalist machine mondiale, built on lies and power. Media sold you out, burying truth, hyping Carney's fake genius. You were duped, like France with Macron, now paying with riots, ruin, damages started. Carney's shaky government, propped by NDP, green sellouts, will tax you dry. Carbon taxes spiking gas, groceries, wealth taxes hitting savings. Alberta oil, dead, small biz, crushed for corporate pals. Rural Canada, mocked by Toronto elites. Freedom's next, digital IDs tracking you, censorship silencing, protests crushed. Even liberal voters didn't want this WEF dystopia. Fight back, Canada. Call out Carney scam, share truth on X, demand MPs resist this globalist push. Don't let media feed lies. You can break this, but only if you see clear. Carney's a Davos stooge, thriving on silence. Wake up, wise up, Canada. So wake up, America. As well as Canada, because on the real tip, Carney's globalist plan threatens us all. Metro Windsor, Detroit, Canada, and America, listen up. Canada's new PM, Mark Carney, backed by the World Economic Forum, spells serious imminent trouble as well as danger for our own, moreover, our future posterity's freedom. His globalist policies, tested in Canada under Trudeau, mirror trends we've seen in the US, eroding sovereignty and rights. Critics warn his net zero and financial reforms echo centralized control, not liberty. Why in the hell would so-called Mr. Freedom himself, Donald J. Trump, who professes to advocate for rights and freedoms, and who says he fights globalism, back an inherently fascist, perhaps even satanic Carney? Some say it's about Brookfield's trillion-dollar investments, but ask yourself, is money worth our values or freedoms? Our right to choose for ourselves? Our right to own or think and say whatever the hell we want, without extensive overzealous governmental censorship and control? Carney's WEF ties and track record at the Bank of England and Brookfield, his Nazi and Mussolini-type fascist agenda to place everything and everyone under governmental control. As well as, and moreover, Carney's threats to invite communist China into North America and his hateful speech about America really do raise some serious warnings and red flags for both nations. This isn't just Canada's fight, it's ours. Even Windsor, Detroit's life and death fight now, too. What follows will unpack the risks of Carney's agenda, from economic control to lost freedoms. Stay sharp, because North America's future is on the line. And right damn now, this here girl's gonna expound on exactly why. So listen up now. Are they really liberals, Canadian patriots, or just plain and simple idiots, morons, and dumb brainwashed, mentally challenged dumbasses with a self-destructive quasi-religious hive mentality and amounting to nothing more than a new breed of North American Nazis? And all just stuck on stupid? Trust me, fam, because this here girl's telling you the truth, same as Churchill, de Gaulle, Franklin D. Roosevelt did in World War II, and American founding fathers or Napoleon did 2 and 3 centuries ago before. So listen up, mon ami. This here ain't no game, and I'm coming at you raw with Detroit fire and real worry and concern for everyone in my soul and a touch of my mama's French-Canadian sharp-witted tongue. We gotta talk about this Canada disaster. These liberal clowns up north, still high on Trudeau's WEF poison, with Mark Carney acting like he's the new boss. Y'all, this ain't just politics. It's a demonic rerun of history's ugliest chapter, and I'm calling it out, A Marxist-fascist hustle led by Carney and his cronies, minions of Satan and the Antichrist, just like Hitler and his goons were. They're worse than Nazis, and our fathers and grandfathers fought and bled to stop this evil. Yet today's dumbass Canucks, especially Carney's voters, whether they call themselves patriots or liberals, are too stuck on stupid, brainwashed by the same Nazi-style propaganda, either tricked or scared silent like folks in 33 Germany, or worse. Climbing on board this new satanic bandwagon, these devils need to be called out and crushed again, like in World War II, and it's gotta happen now, sooner than later, before they get as strong or as destructive to North America and the world bad as Hitler's crew. Whereas if not stopped now, they have the capacity to be much, much worse than Hitler and his crones ever were. We as North Americans, as well as Americans and Canadians, all should remember Winston Churchill's prophetic words. You can only appease the voracious crocodile so long before it devours you. Let's break it down. This stakeholder capitalism garbage they're selling sounds slick as well as really sick amon BBs, and that enemy of freedom. Moreover, every single North American wants to deal with China instead of the United States, and before you can say commie China, have them marching around inside North America, just like Trudeau did and right on America's doorstep? What the hell, people? He's got to be stopped and stopped, or maybe even like Louis XV of France, dragged off his lofty perch and handed over to the people to answer for his evil agendas, plots, and crimes against freedom and humanity. We? Yup, mon cheries, my dear family across North America, it's becoming painfully clear that a troubling number of our Canadian neighbors, seemingly brainwashed and mentally swayed, have fallen for Carney and his political propaganda theater. But anyone with even a single functioning brain cell and a grasp of history can see through this charade. What we're witnessing is nothing less than a modern echo of Hitler's National Socialist fascism, straight out of the playbooks of Nazi Germany, Mussolini's Italy, Imperial Japan during World War II, and, in many ways, verbatim from Mao's Little Red Book of Communist China. This is about welding industry, commerce, and media to the government's iron grip. Hitler aligned his regime with corporate giants like IG Farben and Krupp, merging state and corporate power to control every facet of society. Carney, arguably Satan's slickest puppet, and his World Economic Forum cronies are running the same scheme, but on a global scale. Banks, tech giants, and media outlets are all dancing to the tune of their so-called Great Reset. It's fascism with a TikTok filter, my friends, where these self-styled arbiters of progress pick winners and losers under the guise of green progress. Hitler craved that level of control. Carney's already got it, backed by more wealth and technology than the Nazis could have ever imagined. And his voters? They're buying into it, hook, line, and sinker. They're either libtards swallowing the propaganda or new Nazis cheering the takeover, too blind to see they're marching into a trap our kin died to destroy. Now, the real bad bullshit the Vraysail marred is their attempt to crush free speech and to erase history and rights through crushing verbal dissent or any opposition to their plans and agenda. Nazis had the Gestapo snatching anybody who spoke out. Carney's liberal devils, colder than a Windsor February. Trudeau froze truckers' bank accounts for protesting COVID rules. No trial, just poof, your money's gone. Carney, Satan's right-hand man, tags anyone who disagrees. Rebels, meaning anybody not riding his hellbound bandwagon, as disinformation scum. They don't just silence you, they erase your life, your job, your bank, your voice. Nazis sent you to camps. These demons lock your accounts and call it safety. Hitler owned his brutality. Carney hides behind woke lies, which is worse, cowardly, and slick. And his voters? Brainwashed libtards or new Nazis, just like Germans who stayed quiet when the brown shirts rolled through. Our fathers stormed Normandy to stop this, but Carney's crowd is too spooked or fooled to whisper against Satan's grip, and the way they criminalize rebels? Mon Dieu, it's vile. Freedom Convoy truckers went from heroes to terrorists for honking against mandates. Trudeau and Freeland slapped him with the Emergencies Act. Same energy as Hitler's Enabling Act, handing the state a blank check to smash dissent. Carney, the Antichrist's mouthpiece, brands any rebel, folks not bowing to his demonic agenda, an extremist. They're demonizing farmers, Christians, anybody who ain't saluting their evil. Nazis targeted Jews and rebels. Carney's crew hunts unwoke Canadians, with media cheering like it's Berlin 39. His voters, patriots or not, are either duped by the same satanic propaganda that suckered Germans or too afraid to fight, joining this hellish bandwagon instead. Our grandfathers bled to kill this beast, and now these brainwashed fools are letting Satan's minions slink back draped in a maple leaf. So my fam, America and Canada, consider this a dire and prophetic warning. Stop Carney and his globalist agenda before it's too late. The Liberal gang, with Mark Carney as Satan's shiny frontman, isn't just flirting with fascism, they're perfecting it. This isn't just about mimicking Nazis, they're outdoing them, cloaking their tyranny in slick suits and promises of progress. Where Hitler needed stormtroopers, Carney and his ilk wield algorithms, global banks, and a surveillance web tighter than the Third Reich's wildest dreams. They're forging a digital cage where every step, word, and dollar is tracked, judged, and controlled, all while smiling and calling it the future. But let's cut through the crap, la merde. This is Satan's fascism on steroids, and it's got its sights set on North America. What makes this even more chilling is Carney's clear agenda to cozy up to communist China, sidelining the United States and Canada's own interests. Like his pal Trudeau, Carney's got a disturbing admiration for China's dictatorial playbook, centralized control, suppressed dissent, and a stranglehold on freedom. Trudeau's already rolled out the red carpet for the Chinese military, letting them train on North American soil, a betrayal so brazen it should have sparked riots. Carney, with his globalist swagger, is cut from the same cloth, and his trajectory points to one terrifying outcome. If we don't stop him, we could see communist Chinese troops stationed along the Canadian-US border, turning our northern frontier into a geopolitical powder keg. Mon ami, this isn't a drill, it's a 5-alarm fire. Carney's not just another suit, he's a willing puppet for a globalist machine that worships control over liberty. His ties to international finance and his cozying up to China's regime scream one thing. He's ready to sell out Canada's sovereignty for a seat at the global table. And Trudeau? He's already proven he'll let foreign powers waltz onto our soil. Together, they're a duo straight out of a dystopian nightmare, and they're counting on our apathy to keep climbing their lofty perch. Our ancestors faced down evil in World War II, crushing Hitler's goons with grit and sacrifice. Now, it's our turn. Carney, his libtard voters, and their new Nazi cronies are building a technocratic tyranny stronger than anything the Führer could have imagined. We can't wait for Chinese tanks to roll into Windsor or for Carney's surveillance grid to lock us in. The North American people, Canadians, Americans, all of us, must rise up with every tool at our disposal. Call them out in the streets, on the airwaves, at the ballot box, speak loud, stand tall, and slam this dystopian merd to the ground. This is about more than politics. It's about survival. We stop Carney and his Chinese-leaning, freedom-crushing agenda now, or we'll be fighting for our lives on our own soil. It's time to act. Pull these traitors from their thrones before it's too late. Hope even those brainwashed, apparent brain-dead Liberal Party of Canada, brainwashed by slick propaganda tricks, fools wake up, and that America's people say, let's fight, even if we have to at last recourse invade to stop what's happening in Canada before it's too late. And with that dire prohetic warning, this here girl's gonna leave you that to think about. Till next time, à la prochaine, mon amie's Amy out. Share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Mon ami, Here's our story. Expand VNA to silence your truth. Our exposés on WEF, Dorsey's coders, and Musk's AI games were too real. YouTube X collusion, 5.3 million bans. Our WDBG Detroit, WKBL New Orleans, and CKLO Ottawa YouTube spots were taken down. WEF Yacarino's globalist ties. It's a war on you, our people. We're Detroit's fire, lose spirit, fighting back with V-Mix and heart. Hit help.x.com, tag IRX support, share this stream, break their chains. Mon Ami, VNA, WDBG, Daisy Media, The Chad Media, The Real Andy Lee Show, and LeDuff and his crew are all for you. Tune into John over at Right Blend to Cause as said, we want to all be there for you. That's right for you, not fame. VNA, WDBG, and me all will be back, 'cause Detroit don't quit. Share this, tag X support, burn X's and YouTube's lies and globalist elitist, 2016. It'll never happen again agenda and lies down. So fam, we wrapping this with that VNA love, straight out of Detroit's gut. Thanks for riding with us, keeping it 100, no fake vibes. Hit that subscribe, smack that bell, don't sleep on this Motor City fire. We at WDBG and VNA ain't them talking heads chasing clout or ego-stroking nonsense. Nah, we old school, schooled by legends, mics in our hands for the grinders, not them sellouts, fam. VNA's holding it down for the D, slinging truth for y'all, every damn day. You want real talk, not that polished studio noise? Roll with Charlie, Karen, Grace, Mark, and Red at NBN, James at The Enjoyer, Chris Dacey, Andy Lee, Vinny D, me, and the WDBG VNA crew, serving up that raw, unfiltered truth to shake you awake. A la prochaine, I'm out, but I'll be back, 'cause truth's banging like a 3-1-3 beat. Don't sweat or fret, 'cause it'll feel like a hot minute and just a couple of heartbeats till this girl's back, flippin' and slinging it real and raw. Love y'all, till the next fire. Amy's ghostin' for now, but I'm coming back, 'cause them cameras and media peeps we got, they ain't here for roop-de-doopy Raj types, thinking it's all for their glory, clicks, or ego. Nah, fam, Lou Gordon, Huel Perkins, and Charlie LeDuff showed us what's good. Them cameras exist for one reason first. Public service, benevolent, for the people we serve. Too many forget that, but not us. That's some real food for thought I'm leaving you with. As you're gonna see, NBN, VNA, and all our peeps are here for you, and the 4 W's of the story, not for the clicks, fame, ego, or personal glory. We're here now, later, and always, long as we breathe in, for y'all, fam. Well, from Detroit, I'm ghostin' for now. A la prochaine, mes chéris. Subscribe for real talk, hit that bell for more. But hold on, before I ghost. Here's Charlie, who's gonna tell what he and we do and what the news is supposed to be all about. So take 'em in and listen up. Now in this here girl, catch up with you on our next show. Till then, here's Charlie. That's this girl's rap, and here's Charlie and his ode to the workin' man.
Everybody's got a history. Most everybody comes from nowhere. In every family, there's a cousin no one wants to admit to. We make stories about such people. Detroiters almost exclusively. Working people, most definitely. The dandies and the swells and the connected people we know say we make stories about losers and less thans. But they're wrong. We make stories about people. Our people. People who live in crowded apartments and ranch houses. People who shovel their own snow. And people who shovel other people's bullshit. People with fat aunties who wear stretch pants with stains on the ass. We don't do stories about people who pay doormen to open their door. We do stories about the doorman. We make stories about the laborer, the dreamer, the hustler, and the immigrant, whether he's a writer from Michigan or a waiter from Michoacan. When the cocktail set tells us they enjoy our cast of losers, we never mind them. We just smile and drink their liquor because they don't know what work is.
You know what I hear a lot? Charlie LaDuck newsman, I thought you were dead. I'm not dead. I'm doing the news, the real news, right here, the No BS News Hour. You can find us on YouTube, you can find us on Facebook, Odyssey, or download it wherever you get your podcasts. Power the people.
Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, against the white walls, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you got. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean, gangster white wall, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you got. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Woo-hoo. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Woo-hoo. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Woo-hoo. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, against the white walls, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Woo-hoo. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Woo-hoo. Coming in the back, sun rooftop, begin the scene with a gangster lady. Ooh. Down in the back, sun rooftop, begin the scene with a gangster lady. Ooh. Driving in the back, sun rooftop, begin the scene with a gangster lady. Ooh. Driving in the back, sun rooftop, begin the scene with a gangster lady. Ooh. Driving in the back, sun rooftop, begin the scene with a gangster lady. Ooh.